Earlier this month, T-Mobile and Sprint completed their merger to become the new T-Mobile. Yesterday, they announced that T-Mobile is now combining Sprint's 5G network into their own. T-Mobile, like at&t and Verizon, have a 600 MHz low-frequency 5G network and a super-fast millimeter wave network that happens to run on a 28 GHz and 39 GHz frequency range. Sprint was working on what is considered a mid-range network, which is a 2.5 GHz bandwidth network. This network was built on top of Sprint's 4G LTE network, so in order for T-Mobile to use it, they had to build those same antennas that Sprint was using onto their own existing antennas and cell sites. Once complete, T-Mobile can then start shutting down all of Sprint's sites and move everybody over. This process has already started in New York City, New York. For the rest of the 2.5 gigahertz rollout, they will go ahead and start on T-Mobile's towers rather than having to try to convert everyone over from Sprint to T-Mobile antennas like they did in New York City. T-Mobile has also opened up its 4G LTE network for Sprint customers to use when they are roaming. This will help Sprint's customers to basically double their network coverage. Sprint has already rolled out its 5G in parts of 9 different cities prior to the merger with T-Mobile. Those cities happen to be Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, Houston, Texas, Kansas City, Missouri, Los Angeles, California, New York City, New York, and Phoenix, Arizona. And then they also did Washington, D.C. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania was a 10th city that was also announced when they decided to announce the final acquisition and company merger going on there earlier in April. Something important to note, if you currently have a 5G T-Mobile phone, if your phone is compatible, as T-Mobile rolls out the mid-range spectrum, you will be able to use it. However, for Sprint 5G customers, your phones will slowly no longer accept 5G as T-Mobile takes over the Sprint network as their own. PC Mag did say that Sprint 5G phone holders should get an offer to switch over to T-Mobile's 5G phone lineup. T-Mobile has already rolled out its slowest version of 5G to the whole country. They were able to do this since it's supported by their 4G LTE towers. Again, it's the slowest version of 5G, but it gets the job done. The mid-range spectrum will slowly roll out, just like the millimeter wave network. at&t and Verizon both have plans for rolling out their 5G spectrums, both opting for the 600 megahertz and the millimeter wave networks rather than the 2.5 gigahertz network like T-Mobile is implementing in theirs. T-Mobile went with the 3 so that way they could combine Sprint's tech with their own and offer a wider range of speeds to their customers and get it to them a lot quicker and easier. Personally, I'm excited for 5G and its possibilities, but I won't buy a 5G phone or get too hyped about it until the end of 2021 when the tech isn't so new, the kinks have been worked out, and it's also implemented closer to where I live. Like as you can see, as T-Mobile purchased Sprint, Sprint's phones are no longer working. Plus, if you've been keeping up with 5G, you'll see that certain modems can't operate on the millimeter wave network, and so as these modems roll out and get newer and get better, they'll be able to accept basically all 3 ranges of the 5G networks. And so there's no reason to buy an expensive phone now and limit yourself in 6 months to a year, and then your phone is not as good as what it once was. And so it's better to hold off at this case, and that's kind of how I feel about it. So anyways, thank you for watching. Drop a comment if you'd like, and be sure to like and subscribe.